What's going on? Excited. Usually we don't do video, but this is a special guest and special time, so I wanted to do something different for you guys. I'm so excited we have a special guest, Miss Ana Reyes. I hope I said the middle name right, but she's an amazing author.
Yes.
She speaks on how to become a conscious creator. This is something that people need, something positive, and something that people need. Now that people have a time to reflect and decide where they want to go in life, now that everyone is in quarantine and people are have nothing but time, I think people should take this time to really self-reflect. And this book and her message is perfect timing, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. So, Ms. Reyes, how you doing? Ana Reyes.
I'm awesome. Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to have you on.
Yes.
So, becoming a conscious creator. So how did this start? How did Ana become a conscious creator?
How did I become a conscious creator? Through pain, through my life experiences, you know.
Okay.
At the age of 31, I got tired. I got tired of making all the wrong choices, you know, and I said, something has to change or else, you know, I'm going to die early, and I don't want that to happen.
Of course,
so I started reading certain books. I started listening to certain people, certain audio. And as I started learning different ways of thinking and how to become more of a positive thinker, I realized that my thought process was not good. And then my emotional process was not good either. So when I started learning to control my thought process, my emotions started getting aligned, and then I started seeing better things happening into my life. So I'm like, oh, this really works. So I continued to apply what I was learning. But that's the thing. A lot of people learn things, but they don't apply the things that they learn.
True.
And then they don't see no results in their life.
Definitely.
So I became really aggressive about the information that I learned, and here I am.
Okay, that's amazing. So I started reading your book. I didn't finish everything, but I started reading your book, and you start off by saying you took full responsibility. So how does one take full responsibility? Do you just say none of it is my fault, or is everything your fault? How did you take full responsibility?
Okay, like, you know, everybody's raised by people and an environment, right? Most people adopt this feeling of, oh, I'm a victim, you know, I didn't have good parenting, you know, I grew up in the hood, there was no opportunity, blah, blah, blah. But then, when do you get to a point now that you say, okay, yeah, you know, my parenting lacked, yeah, my environment was a little messed up, but now I'm a full-blown adult, and I'm out here making choices. So when do you say, now it's my responsibility to make the right choices so I can have a better quality of life? Mm-hmm. So instead of me blaming my parents, or, you know, me blaming my dad because he wasn't there and now I have daddy issues with dudes, you know, instead of me blaming the women in my life who probably didn't give me good examples about womanhood, you know.
True. And,
you know, instead of me just blaming everything around me, I said, okay, let me take full accountability of what's happening in my life, because I'm deciding for myself. I'm the one making these choices, and these choices are directly affecting me.
True.
Instead of blaming everything on everybody else, you have to take it for yourself, because you want. A lot of the times, a lot of the people that raised us, they didn't know no better.
True.
They were just showing you what was shown to them.
That's true.
And that's pretty much what has happened to the most of us, to the most of us, that, you know, our parents did the best that they could. And now it's your responsibility to change that cycle. So if you have children, now you teach your children better. And now a new generation of better mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and now better behavior is developed.
Yeah. So basically, once you know better, you have to take the responsibility to do better.
Exactly. You know better, you got to do better.
Yeah. Definitely.
So you can teach it forward.
True. So you went from taking full responsibility to learning to love yourself. How does that process start? Because once you take full responsibility, it kind of puts a burden, makes you kind of hate yourself. So how did you take the journey to learning to love yourself?
Right. So it's like when you evaluate behavior, we do a lot of self-sabotaging. Because again, we're never taught to admire ourselves. We're never taught to say, you're good. Everything that you heard, or most of us that we heard, was everything that was negative about us. Oh,
True.
you're too this. Oh, you're too that. Oh, you're dumb. You're not learning in school. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. You this and this and that. But it was very seldomly that someone came around and said, good job.
True.
Keep going. You there was not like no encouragement in the home. The only thing that you were told is like, do better. But what's better? So now you go dealing with the world with all these things that you heard in your own home, and you start displaying all these negative feelings and emotions towards yourself, that now you allow the world to mistreat you.
Mm. Wow.
And then you start doing all these self-sabotaging behaviors, like you start doing drugs because you don't know how to cope with with your emotional health. You start being around people that put you in bad habits and bad behaviors. So now you have to say, okay, I want what's best for me. Now it's time to evaluate what's going on, and if that does not conduce to the betterment of me, I have to let it go.
Mm.
And I have a story. Like, I asked a friend of mine, and I was like, you got to stop drinking. And the story went like, oh, I can't stop drinking because my friends won't let me stop drinking.
Wow.
Because if I stop drinking, then they were not going to want to be my friends anymore.
True.
People are so worried about what their friends are going to do or what their friends are not going to. You got to disconnect from that, because once you want better for yourself, a lot of those friends are going to have to be put on pause. A lot of those friends are probably going to stop being your friends, because now you're no longer walking in the same path.
So when you become to love yourself, you got to basically be your own cheerleader. You can't expect friends or families to support you. You got to make a decision for yourself and become your own cheerleader.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when I made the decision, right? I remember they were having a big party in the house, and everybody was drinking. Everybody was doing what everybody does, because Spanish people drink, okay? And here I am walking around with my mug of tea, just walking around drinking tea.
Yeah.
And then
around the
like,
party,
you're really
and you
drinking
just...
tea? And I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I don't have to drink to have a good time.
Yeah.
This is where I'm at right now. And it's okay. I love you guys. I respect you guys. So I want you guys to respect what I'm doing right now.
It's true.
And that's what it is, a matter of respect. You have to deal with people that respect your decisions.
It's true.
Because if that doesn't come in, then you're not going to want to be around them.
That's true. So when, let's say, people that are important to you in your life, they are not becoming cheerleaders. They're not supporting your decisions. What's next? Do you cut them off, or do you just find out different ways to manage it?
Something that I've learned in the time that I've been in this process is that the people that are closest to you, the people that you consider like closest to you, are going to be the less supportive.
Mm.
Because people don't expect for you to go through such a drastic change.
Okay.
People want to be stuck to the person that you used to be.
Mm.
And they want to know you from that point, because learning you from a new point is like, no, that's impossible, because they haven't taken the measures to become different.
Mm.
So when something is impossible for them, now they put that stigma on you, and it's supposed to be impossible for you. And
also, if it becomes possible for you, it's kind of a gut check for them, because now they're like, all right, so what have I been doing? If they can change and they could get better, that means that I'm slacking if I'm not growing, and it kind of becomes a gut check. So that's why sometimes they want to hinder you.
Right. So, when it comes to that, most people don't say, yeah, maybe I should do better. Maybe, no, they start thinking, oh, she thinks she better. Oh, what makes her think that? So they go into these negative spaces again, instead of taking it for what it is. A person wants to increase the quality of their life. Let me emulate. Let me emulate what they're doing to be a better person. But now everybody gets into that space that, what is it, crab in the barrel mentality. And now, no, you cannot want better for yourself. You got to stay down here with us.
Yeah, it's true. It's unfortunate, but which is why the self-love is so important, because you got to know that people around you are not going to always agree with the changes you're making. Like you said, you're drinking tea. It's a party, but you're drinking tea. People are going to get upset, but you got to learn to love yourself enough to, yes, I can still celebrate, but I don't have to be drunk to celebrate.
Exactly. And becomes with what you want for you. Yeah. You have to make that assessment as, why am I doing this? What is the purpose of me doing this? And if it's for your own good, then you have to do what you have to do. You have to do what's necessary for you to get your life to a better level. Not that you're now going to be looking down on those people, because those are the people that you love, and those are the people that have been with you. But you do have to create a certain level of separation. So you can thrive, and now you can start moving, because now once you start changing and becoming different, you're going to attract those type of people.
That's true.
So now you start getting into your life a new level of people in your life.
Definitely. And that's the next phase I want to get to. So you go from loving yourself to now you're investing in yourself. So can you talk about that process of learning to invest in yourself?
All right. So when I started this whole process, 2014, I'm like, okay, I want to be a life coach. Let me see what this whole life coaching thing is about. And I signed up to this life coaching program, right? That I could not afford. I don't know. I didn't know how I was going to pay for it. All I knew that I was in it.
Okay.
And it took like a month. The program was like 3 months long. And by the month and a half, the lady was like, look, I can't work with you anymore. You haven't made payment. I got to let you go.
Wow.
And that night I got so upset. I was like, whoop, 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 I want to be in the program. But then I said, you know what? Be grateful that you were in the program for this long. You learned some valuable information. Now you got this list of books that you can read. Now go ahead, take it in the chin. You did the best that you could. You wasn't able to finish the program. It's all right. Definitely. Then after that, I started being online, just finding all the free courses. Everything that people can get for free, I was taking it. I was doing it.
Yeah.
And then I started taking like low paying courses, like $30, $40, $50, because I was like, okay, this is a new way of learning. You don't have to go to college anymore to learn a new skill. Yeah. Now you can
YouTube University.
Exactly. I've learned so many things on YouTube, Yeah. And then, when I started taking it, now I'm like, okay, now I have to really invest. So now I'm starting paying for $1,000 courses, $2,000 courses. And then when you put that into perspective, people be like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. You spent $1,000 in books in college.
True.
And you still ain't got all the money to cover everything.
True.
Like a cheap college courses you like what, $5,000 a semester?
Definitely, yep. It's true.
But you're complaining about $1,000 course? That is you investing in learning your business. It's the same thing. Learning is learning. As long as the source is going to be a good source. And also I pay for crappy classes too. Boy, let me tell you. But whatever it is that you want to learn or you want to go into, there's a level of learning that you have to do. True. Yes, that I wanted to be a life coach. Exactly. Yes, that I wanted to be a life coach. But yes, that people go to school to be a dentist or to be a lawyer. Yeah, they want to, but they have to learn a certain level of information to become efficient at it.
True.
That's the same thing that I said. I'm like, look, if I go to school, I'm going to be spending the same amount of money. So I'm going to school through another way, because even though I want to be a self-mastery coach, even though I want to be an author, I have to learn certain things about this business.
That's true.
And that's what I've been doing, investing in different courses so I can become the best self-mastery coach, the best author, and, and the best mentor and coach that I can be to everyone else.
So how did you go from helping yourself and learning yourself and building yourself up to coaching others? Like, how was that process? When did you become confident enough to know, all right, you know what? I learned some skills that I could really help others with?
So I was, in my bed, and I get this message that came through my Facebook inbox. And I had this young guy. At that time, he was like 23 or 24. And he said, look, I don't have no money to pay you, but, I need help.
Wow.
And I said, look at this here. So, I went, I looked at the message, and then I came back and I'm like, okay, look, we're going to do this together. And if I'm going to give you my time, I'm going to need you to listen to every single thing that's coming out of my mouth.
True.
Because I'm investing my time in you. And I've never coached anybody before. And then I said, what am I supposed to do? So I started going in my books, and, I started talking to him every day and just dealing with him and giving him advice. I'm like, no, let's try to go here. Let's try to go there, to all the challenges that he was facing, And then after the time was over, he made so much progress that I was like, I can do this.
Wow.
And that's what gave me the confidence. That first guy gave me the confidence to know that I can help people and I can teach people what I just learned.
Wow.
And help them see the quality of their life.
Wow. So the students sought the teacher, and the teacher came out.
Absolutely. And that's how it happened. And I'm like, yo, I can do this. I can help people. That's what's up. So now I'm going to keep doing it.
So let's get to the cool part about it. Now the book. So you take this journey, you're bettering yourself, you're learning so much, you're taking courses, and now you're coaching someone. Now the book. What made you become confident enough to, let me share this with the masses? Because once you write a book, anybody can read the book. So now you're reaching the world, you're reaching the country. How did you become confident enough for that?
So now, I'm hearing a lot of people that I deal with. They're like, you should write a book. People on social media, because when I started going through my process, I started just sharing my process, and people are like, the way that you break things down and you analyze things, you should write a book. And I'm like, I never wrote no book, And then I read a book about Tony Gaskins. He wrote a book and he said, I've never written before, but this is so freestyle. So I said, if he did that, I could do that too.
Wow.
So then I took a course. Mm-hmm. And part of that course through Atlanta Public Speaking was that the teacher will help you develop your book, give you a structure to now create your book. Wow. And I said, it's time. That's what I want. Wow. And it was a life setting in which you can go and practice your speaking and, do your authoring. And from that class, about 2 years ago, I took it. It was from that book came to life. Wow. But the book, I had thought about it for a very long time, for like 3 years before that. And then when the book came to life, I was like, oh my God, it's done. I did it.
Wow, that's amazing. And it's not easy because you're sharing some of your personal experiences, which is not always easy, but you're using it to help others, which is amazing. So
absolutely.
What the message for your book, if someone doesn't have the opportunity of meeting you, what do you want them to get out of the book without actually knowing you personally? What do you want them to get out of it?
The message of the book is to become completely self-aware and to completely self-reflect on what is going on in your thought process, what is going on in how you believe in yourself, and whatever religiousness or how is it that you think about science, the universe, God, whatever it is. What's going on? How thankful are you? Because a lot of people now, we're getting the stimulus check and a lot of people are talking a lot of trash, but then you have $2 saved in the bank, right?
It's true.
What is your emotional system? What ticks you off? What doesn't tick you off? What values do you have? What is the quality of the relationships in your life? What type of food are you eating? A lot of the reason why a lot of us, brown and black people are dying from the coronas is because our diet sucks.
It's true.
So our bodies are full of mucus.
That's true.
You know, and like, what is your self-care system? How do you take care of yourself? Because at one point I found myself, I was giving out so much. And I'm like, you know, I would sit home sometimes and I'd be like, who gonna take care of me?
That's true.
You know, so it's becoming fully self-aware in all those 7 areas that I paid attention to myself that allow me to develop a higher quality of my life.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are on, what's it called? Like autopilot. They just go and do things and they don't really think, or they're not, like you said, conscious. They don't realize why they're doing this, why they're eating the things they eat, why they're just getting up and going here, why they're screaming at their kids, why they're abusive, why are they allowing abusive relationships. They don't stop and think about it. They just go, and they just assume that that's just what it is.
Right. So for instance, you know, I moved out of my mother's house when I was like 17 going into 18. I got pregnant 18 going to 19. I moved out, got married, blah, 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 blah. You know, so I was out of my mama's house for like 10 years. Life happened. I came back when I was 27 and I was destroyed. I was like, who goes back to the parent house? Like, oh my God, I'm such a bum, like, you know? But then when I was in my mother's house, what that allowed me to understand or to pay attention to was where a lot of my mediocre behavior was coming from. So now I started observing my you know, my mom, my siblings, my dad. And I'm like, that's why I do that. Wow. That's why I do that.
Wow.
That's why I do that. You know what? I love them with a passion. I love them. And I'll give anything for them. That's my family.
Of course.
But there's a lot of things that I see that I don't want to be like.
Oh, it's amazing. It's true.
You know?
It's true. It's amazing. And I think that should be an awareness that everyone should come to, because, you know, our parents, like you said, parents do the best that they know. And once you know better, you do better. And, you know, sometimes our parents feed us the wrong things. We're wondering why we're always sluggish and tired. It's because he was eating so much greasy foods when we was kids.
Exactly.
And yeah. So it's so
and
many.
And then we don't even understand where all that came from. You know, that came from a system from long years ago, in which it was taught to us that mediocre food, what you know, it was what it was good for us. And this, we just indoctrinized it, and we just kept passing it down and passing it down and passing it down and passing it down. So now when we're trying to do better things, eat healthier, work out. Like, I never saw my mama work out. I never saw nobody in my family work out.
It's true. It's true.
You know, but it was something that I started doing, because when I started doing it, it felt good to me. You know, nobody in my family is a vegan. Nobody in my, but for 3 years, I was a full vegan.
Wow.
Because I wanted to cleanse my body, cleanse my thought process, cleanse everything. And
I'm sure people around you is thinking, "Oh, she's going crazy now."
Boy, let me tell you, my mama told me I was going to die because I didn't eat meat. My mama told me, Kevin, you're going to die. I'm like, Mommy, don't nobody die from not eating chicken and beef, okay? Relax.
Exactly. But it's the thought process. And she might have, like, we're laughing about it, but she might have been very serious. She might have really felt that, you know, you might get sick if you're not eating chicken and beef.
Right. No, she was serious. She was serious. She was so serious about it. You know, you know, when I'm out sometimes with my family or whatever, and they eat what they eat, they order off their menu, and now I'm picking and choosing, you know, they be like, "Oh, why you?" And I'm like, listen to me right now. What you're not going to do is criticize the way that I'm eating, because I'm not criticizing the fact that you're eating pork, that you're eating beef, that you're eating chicken, that you're eating all this stuff. You do whatever you want to do. Allow me to do what I want to do, and let me eat my food in peace.
It's true.
So this is what I want to put in my body.
It's true.
You know, and again, it goes to that, from that matter of respect. You know, respect what I'm doing, because I'm respecting what you're doing.
And I think it's like a matrix. Like, people, it's not that they don't respect you. They don't understand. They're so focused on going inside the box and following this flow that once they see somebody deturn from that path, they're confused and they're upset because like why aren't you doing what everybody else is doing? It's confusing to them and it's upsetting to them.
And honestly, I've never been like that. Like, ever since I was a kid in school, like, I'll play with my friends, but somewhere or somehow I found my way away from them. Like I was never like a group person. I've learned to be more inclusive like that because I know the importance of grouping and, going into the business that I'm going into, you have to build relationships and da-da-da-da-da. But I've always been like a very solitude type of person. I've always been that way,
Yeah. But most people, and I think this is kind of important this time, and because we have to be away from people, I think this is important where people could really stop and realize why they do everything they do. Like me, I usually wake up, go to work, and I run to Starbucks. But now I've been saving so much money by making my own coffee and just slowing things down and processing things. And you don't know why. Like, why do I have to wake up and spend money to buy coffee? I don't have to, but it's just something I was just programming myself to do.
Exactly. I just look at my gas tank. My gas tank been the same spot for because I ain't going nowhere.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm saving money on gas. I used to drop off my clothes at the laundry lady because I was always tired. I was always working, and now I'm like, I could wash my own laundry.
It's true. Yeah.
So there's just so many things that now, again, you're self-reflecting and you're like, I'm going to do it because I have the time. Yeah. I'm not exhausted from work anymore, so you're saving a lot more money in a lot of areas.
And I think people are reevaluating careers also. Some people have been laid off or furloughed, and some people are looking at, do I even want to go back to that job? I've been doing this
I'm like, get back. I ain't going back over there.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, like, okay, I had this time off. I'm enjoying this. I can do something else. Why go back there? They stress me out over there. Why go back?
Exactly. And I was getting already to that point. We'll have conversations with my partner, and I'm like, babe, I want to go get another job, because I serve at Red Lobster, and I'm like, I want to go fine dining. I want to get out of there. I want to go higher so I can be around a different level of people, and I can make a different type of monies,
The tips
so
are
I was
better.
already, you know what I'm saying? So I was getting there already. So now when this happened, I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't even want to be there to begin with.
It's true. It's a reset
so
button.
Now, exactly. So now that just made me more focused on what I really, really, really enjoy doing. And I've seen so much growth. I've seen so much growth. Because I'm not a person that just sit around and do a whole bunch of nothing. I'm like, I got so much to do. That when I put everything into perspective, I was like, oh, I'm a little overwhelmed.
Exactly.
It's okay. It's going to get done,
Exactly.
Take a little bite each day. Take a little bite and everything is going to get done.
Yeah, it's true. And you have the time to do it now,
Absolutely. So from the moment that I wake up to the moment I go to sleep, I take my breaks in between, because you need to let the mind release and process all the information. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing myself. I'm doing me. Completely focus on myself. Now focus more on my children. Now focus more on my partner. And everything is just flourishing.
Yeah. The main thing I think is so important, the stress. I've been so relaxed. I've been, working from home, but I've been relaxed. I haven't, it's different when you have to be at the same place around people that you kind of don't always like, and just getting away from that stress, it makes you feel more productive. You feel lighter. You eat a little better. It feels different when you're not that stressed. Yeah.
Yeah, and ever since I've been stuck in the house, I lost 15 pounds.
Wow, that's amazing.
Because I went on overdrive with the workout.
Yeah.
Because now that I'm like, okay, I'm not going to have the activity of my job. Now the gym is closed.
Yeah.
I got to continue to move. Because I don't want to put on all this weight just because I've been in the house.
It's true. And the lack of stress gives you more energy.
Absolutely. Now I be telling my partner, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad that my feet don't hurt.
Wow.
You
It's
know,
true.
that was
Now
my
you can
chief
work out.
complaint
Yep.
every day. My chief
Yep.
complaint, oh, my feet hurt. Because being a server, you got to walk back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth all day, all day, all day.
Yeah.
So now it's like I can push myself even harder now through my workouts because my feet don't hurt or my body does not hurt from the job.
Yeah.
And I'm over here doing amazing things. I'm like, whoa, I did that? Yay.
Yeah, this is an amazing time. It's, of course, people are hurting, people are getting sick, and it's going to hurt a lot of people financially, but I think this is an amazing time if you really self-reflect and really take the time to use it as a reset button to evaluate where you want things to go.
And reinvention.
True.
You know,
True.
I watched a video one time on Jennifer Lopez, and she was talking about, you know, when she felt like she was just done and out.
Mm.
And if we see this woman now, she's like amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, she looks amazing.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, you are allowed to reinvent yourself over and over and over and over. And I learned that also from when I was in college, in school, that I saw like it was 3 people in class that they were tired of their old careers. Like they've been working there for like 20, 25 years, and now they wanted to do something new. And they were in their late 50s. One lady was like in her early 60s, just taking new classes to learn a new craft. Like it's never too late for you to learn how to do, you know, something new and learn a new skill and give your life a new breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like you said, the box that people put you in, like Jennifer Lopez, like you mentioned, she's a dancer. Everybody that she grew up with, everyone, when she went to LA or California, she went to be a dancer. So imagine that phone call when she calls and tells her family, I'm an actor now. Right. What are you talking about? You're a dancer.
Exactly. Oh, I'm singing now, you know? Yeah, like, man, you could do whatever you want to do.
It's true. It's true.
You know, as long as you definitely believe in yourself and put the work in. Because that's something else also that a lot of people are not doing. Yeah, I want this and I want that, but they think it's going to just fall on their lap.
It's true.
No, success doesn't work like that. Even with the people that come from like wealthy families, they still got to do something.
To maintain it, yep. It's
exactly.
True.
You know, they still have to do something. People think that, you know, when people make it, it happened from the blink of an eye. No, that took maybe 5, 10, 15 years sometimes.
Definitely.
Of them grinding, of them.
Now I was going to say, speaking of the 10, 15 years, can you talk about your consistency? Because I think that's where most success comes from. Because everybody could become positive and do things for a certain amount of time. But how did you learn to become consistent with your journey?
Because when I said to myself, what is going to make Evelyn happy? What is going to make Ana feel accomplished? It's like, okay, this is what I want to do. And when I saw myself in my head, because, you know, I said, okay, I like to dance, right? But because I'm 31 years old, I don't want to put my body through that physical strain, right? Because, you know, dancers go through a lot of physical pain, their knees, their feet, whatever. So I said, okay, I've always was into psychology. That's why I love to evaluate things, you know, but I don't want to go back to school like that. So no, you know, so when I found about life coaching and I'm like, okay, I can use my own life experiences and just take a couple of little classes here and there, you know, and then make it happen. I'm willing to go through whatever it takes to do that. So when you decide that you want something, right, you have to be willing to do what it takes to get there. And that's why I said, you know, like a lot of people ask that question, you know, how do you stay consistent through it? Because this is what I want. And if this is what you want, you have to do the work.
It's true.
Or else you really don't want it. So now pick something that's going to give you the motivation, that's going to give you the drive, that's going to get you to perform consistently enough so you can see the fruits of your labor. Because if this is really what you want it from the heart, you want it from here, and when you make your visions in your head, you don't see nothing else, then you got to get up and grind. Point blank, period. You got to get up because it's not going to get done on its own.
Definitely. That's amazing. I don't want to keep your time too much. that's the perfect way to end it. Can you let people know how they could reach out to you, how they can get the book, and how they can get coached by you?
The book is here, of course, right? There's a copy of the book. You can find it on Amazon.
Okay.
The book is available on Amazon. Is available the hard copy, the Kindle, and the audiobook.
Nice.
I have all my links on my IG, on my Instagram. That is my name, Ana Reyes. I have my link tree. You click on the link tree, all my links come up for the physical copy, for the Spanish. The book is in Spanish too. For the audio copy, for the audio book, blah, 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 blah. On Facebook, my same name, Ana Reyes. On YouTube, the same thing, Ana Reyes. I'm a business, so I have to keep everything consistent.
Of course, of course.
So that's where you find me. How can you be coached by me? Send me a message. Go on my website, AnaKevinReyes.com. I think how you contact me. You send me a message of what you want. You know, what do you want to discuss? We schedule a meeting, and then from there we can move forward. For how long you're willing to get coaching, and what is it that you want to get out of the coaching to see if we're a good fit. Because just because you want me to coach you, that doesn't mean that I'm going to be a good fit for you.
True.
Or you're going to be a good fit for me, because people be stressing you out, boy.
That's true. That's true. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And thank